All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the last Tactical Thursday of 2019. This time, or next year in 2020, we'll be coming back on January the 9th. I'm going to take 2 weeks off for the holidays, and then we're going to kick things back off when we come back with we're kind of start from the beginning. So, and a few other things. I've got some ideas for 2020. We're also going to be having Alex come on as a guest host to chat with everybody and answer questions and just hear that sweet Aussie accent. So I hope you guys look forward to that. For those of you over on the YouTube this evening, please make sure to murder the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps get this video in front of more people. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon if you haven't already, so that you can get notified when we go live every single Thursday and all the updates and things that I share on YouTube. So I appreciate everybody being here. I really want to say that I appreciate you guys hanging out with me every single week, week in and out. I've got several people who come to the Zoom every week very consistently, and I appreciate you guys incredibly. Same on YouTube. I see a lot of names pop up over and over again that are the same, like Marianne, and I really do appreciate your guys' support. It really means a lot to me, and I'm thankful that you guys take the time to do that. So this evening, we are going to be talking about the difference between advanced and basic searches. And then, of course, we are going to be going over anything that is online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, Amazon related. We've been having a good conversation before we went live about suppressed buy boxes. So if you guys have suppressed buy box questions, we can chat about those as well. And you guys can always stop me, of course. And then, as usual, we've got giveaways this evening. The ugly sweater contest kind of fell flat on its face. I was kind of excited about that, but didn't seem like anybody wanted to share pictures, so that's only one person did, so they automatically win and are going to get $100 to Amazon. And so we'll do something else next year. We'll do something fun once the new year comes in. But we do have giveaways tonight, like every week. Giveaways include 2 copies of IP Alert. We've got 1 Tactical Arbitrage Academy membership. We've got some bags from ilovesupplies.com. What else do we have? 2 t-shirts, 2 Tactical Arbitrage t-shirts we're going to be giving away. So I'm going to drop that link for you guys. You just have to drop your first name and the first letter of your last name to be able to enter. And then at the end of the show, we will draw from the Wheel of Names. All right. No, it is not a fixed wheel. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we've got a couple of questions. I'm going to grab those as well. Let's see here. There we go. Bring this over here. Share that. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So we got a couple of questions, and we'll dig into the meat of this evening. Josh says, seeking info on how to take wholesale list and run a scan on it, where to run a scan on it. Josh, you've got to, okay, so Josh is curious, how do you run a wholesale scan? So I don't have like a wholesale sheet ready to show you, but you literally run that in the wholesale search. You need to import the manifest. We've done an entire episode on wholesale. So what I would suggest is if you look up Tactical Tuesday on YouTube or go to my YouTube channel, go to the playlists, you will see an entire hour on that. And then, of course, actually probably closer to 2 hours. And then, of course, next year, we're going to kind of start from the beginning. We're going to hit everything over again. And of course, I'm always trying to learn some new things and come up with ideas of how to come at something a little bit differently. So we'll definitely hit on some other ideas, but that is in my playlist on YouTube, and it'll show you really quickly how to do that. Let's see here. What criteria are you using when choosing a storefront for the storefront stalker? Great question. Excuse me. So the thing about stalking storefronts is it doesn't take any bandwidth to do it. So I'm fairly liberal with stalking storefronts. However, one thing that I will typically do is if they have a similar amount of feedback or more than me, then I'm going to be looking at them. Okay. And that's probably not necessarily the best idea because there are people who have fewer feedback than me who are selling a lot more than I am and may just have a newer account. But I figure if they've got a similar amount of feedback as me or they've got more than me, then maybe it's a storefront that I want to model. So I start looking at those. And, so if you've got 50 feedback and you find somebody with 75 and they're mostly using Prime, which means they're using FBA, then I'm probably going to storefront stalk them. I typically stay away from storefronts where everything is merchant fulfilled, because if they're a drop shipper, I don't want to deal with those typically. There's a lot of them they might have 20 or 30,000 items, but hardly any of them are ever selling. So I pass on those. But again, I do it liberally because I just save them. I grab all the ASINs, save them, merge the documents into really large ASIN lists, and then start reverse searching them. All right, let's see here. Paul asks, so on a suppressed buy box, if you are the lowest price, you are king since there's no buy box rotation. Sort of, yes. So like if I'm looking for Prime only, then it should only show me Prime results. But the lowest price will be king because yes, there is no rotation of the buy box. It's just a list of products or a list of sellers. Okay. Trying to think of a product right off the top of my head so that we could go in and take a look. What was I looking at the other day? Was this one suppressed? No, that's not suppressed. I'll have to think of one. I know there's a bunch of suppressed ones. I don't necessarily want to give out anything I've seen in like any Q4 groups or anything. So I'll think on that and I'll find another one. Let's see here. What else do we have? I have not looked at Gator Golf. I haven't picked up any either. I saw a bunch at Target the other day. You've helped raise the money on Amazon. Keeps coming back. Thank you, Christine. Find an ugly sweater. Didn't know about it. Let's see, Hassan, I found a lot of profitable items, but it was out of stock. How to show in stock only. We'll talk about that once we get to the view data. Do you keep older listings as inactive or delete them? So after about 30 days, I'm deleting old stock. As a matter of fact, I went through and deleted about 242 out of stock items today. So I'm waiting about 30 days. Sometimes it goes to 60 because I get lazy or something. I've heard that Amazon will sometimes add an item back onto your empty listings if you don't delete them, or even worse, get IP complaints and stuff that have not been stocked for a long time. You can get an IP complaint anytime. So I haven't gotten IP complaints, but I've got cease and desist letters on items that I haven't sold in months. It just happens. you can get an IP complaint even if you've deleted the listing. Now, supposedly, it's supposed to lessen your chance if you delete it, but there's no telling 100% for sure. Let's see. But yeah, after about 30 days, I'm typically deleting old listings. Richard, there is the link. Do you use any feedback platform like Kibly or Feedback Genius? No, not anymore. Feedback just comes now. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to start doing that again. Although they've made asking for reviews really easy inside of Seller Central now. But I've gotten a couple of negative that I can't get removed like I used to be able to. So I might go back to doing it again. I haven't decided yet. Mike, what's going on, man? Where do you find that option again wherein you filter how much Amazon has been selling on the life of the listing? We will talk about that as well. Let's see. All right, so I think we got all the questions answered. Yeah, guys, make sure to drop your names and stuff into the form. I see we've got 12 so far. So if you want to win, want to have a chance to win, make sure to drop that name in there. All right. Let's see. Is the Amazon sales rank chart you recently updated on your blog the same as the one Keepa has and that TA shows? Well, mine is a little bit different, but the data comes from Keepa, yes. What was the name of the feedback program? There's several. There's Feedback Genius. There's Kibly. There are several other ones. Haven't got the link. Oops. Sorry, guys. All panelists and attendees. There's the link. There's the link. And drop your names in there. Erwin, what's going on? Eric, how's it going, guys, over on YouTube? Let's go ahead. Got it. I dropped the link in the chat. And I see names coming in. Great. All right. So this evening, we're going to be talking about doing a basic search and an advanced search because I get this question quite a bit. Rachel, Thederma, what's going on, guys? For those of you just coming into YouTube, do me a big solid and smash that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. But tonight we're going to be talking about the difference between an advanced and a basic search. And let's start with basic. So one of the questions I get asked on a regular basis is, why should I do an advanced search over a basic search, or why should I do a basic search over an advanced search? So I want to talk a little bit about the history of the basic search. The basic search came out after the advanced search, and it came out specifically to simplify the interface to allow newer users to get comfortable with tactical arbitrage. And what it does is it removes a lot of the filters, and then you just have these all of these to let you see the sites that you can choose from. Okay. And then what tactical arbitrage does is it goes in, it looks for any in-stock items with a positive ROI that have had at least one monthly sale. Okay. And those are the only filters you get. That's all. All right. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can put in site discounts, put in your cash back, put in your gift card, your sales tax, your prep, and your shipping. And that's it. Okay. There's nothing else you can do. So today, what I did is and I'll show you how to start a search. All right. Today, I did a basic search with, what site was it? Oh, with Two Faced. So I went in here to the T's and I chose Two Faced. All right. All right. So I chose Two Faced, and you see, sorry, my face was covering it. You see up in the top right corner that Two Faced is chosen. Now I went in and I happened to find a sale. Okay. So I went over to Sales Gazer. I started going through my emails and I found that Two Faced has a 20% off sale today. However, it excludes it excludes, let me select all, drop this down again. It excludes anything that's on sale, and it excludes anything that's in new. And then it also excludes one other brand. Okay, so I removed new and sale, and I put in my store discount. It's going to be a 20% discount. Okay, I'm not going to worry about cash back today. There are no gift cards that I could find. My sales tax here in Florida is 7%. My prep is 50 cents. And then my shipping to Amazon, I put in here as 50 cents. And then I named this search. So I named this Too Faced 20% off sale 12. Today is the 19th, 2019. And I called this basic search. Just nice and descriptive so I could know exactly what it was. Okay. And this is all you do. That's it. Okay. Then you hit the search button. Now, I'm not going to hit the search button because I already have this scan running, and I'll show you guys some results from it as well. Okay. But with the basic search, that's it. It should take you 2 to 3 minutes to get a scan going, even after looking through what sites are running sales. Okay. Now, if we go to the search manager, and we're going to see in my queued section, so this is going to run a little slow, but I've got Too Faced here. This was my basic search, and we can see that over the past 3.5 hours, it's gone through 4,448 products. It's actually gone through 4,895 products, and it's got 14 products added. Okay. We're going to view this. Hey, Robert, what's going on? What part of Florida I'm in? I am in Central Florida, Maitland, Winter Park area. I'm kind of like right on the border of Maitland, Winter Park, Altamont area. Seminole County is where I'm in. Now, let's take a look at the basic view. Okay, it looks a lot different than the advanced view. It gives you a picture at the source site. All right. It gets you the title at the source site, shows that it's in stock, what the quantity is. And then over at Amazon, it gives you the buy box price. We can see that this is a VFBA, or a virtual fulfilled by Amazon price. We can also see under there, I probably need to make this a little bit bigger. There we go. We can see up here that it's suppressed, so it has a suppressed buy box. We get the size, the star rating. We have all of our little buttons down here. We can check our restrictions. Okay. If you are new to tactical arbitrage, this is one of the great things that's new. Is you can actually check your restrictions right inside of tactical arbitrage. We've got our gross profit over here, our gross ROI. Okay, our price, our adjusted price at $11.68. Then we've got our buy box price, which is suppressed, our return after fees, the ASIN, the category, the UPC, estimated monthly sales, which is showing 0 right now, but it's had at least 1 because it has a rank. We've got the average 30-day price, the brand, and all of this stuff. Okay. Then you can go to Tactical Edge Seller Analysis, SUP. That means it's got a suppressed buy box. So if we open this up on Amazon, we should see that it has a suppressed buy box currently. Okay. So the basic view data area is just kind of a more visual way to view the data. You've got your history chart, and then you can, of course, open up to Tactical Edge Seller Analysis. Okay. It gives you enough data to make a decision. All right. VFBA is virtual fulfilled by Amazon. So what that means is that the current seller is a merchant fulfilled seller. And in most cases, I should be able to sell for more than what a merchant fulfilled seller is selling at. So in this particular case, I have mine set to 2%, which is pretty conservative. So this buy box price here at 28.05, excuse me, is a little bit higher than what the merchant fulfilled seller is selling at. We can see that they're selling at, looks like 27.50 merchant fulfilled. And if we go, actually, let me see this. What are they showing it at? Let me update this just so it gets the newest data. Oh, the last update was 4 hours ago. That wasn't too long ago. Let's double check. Yeah. So 28.05. So my price is based on a little bit higher than this, okay? Because as a prime seller, I should be able to get some more. Now that can get a little bit tricky with suppressed buy boxes. We should be able to still get more because we're shipping prime. Yeah, I'm going to go do some tests on that. Hey, Nina from Largo, nice to virtually meet you. But hopefully that explains what VFBA is. All right, now on this particular, sorry, let me close this out. Now, on this particular page, you can also sort and filter the data, okay? So right now, there are no filters in here, but we can see that the match quality is between 100 and infinity. So one of the things is there are going to be fewer matches because they all have to be at least 100. One of the things you can do is we can see that there are 6 in here currently. If we remove that 100, we're going to see some more, okay? And then the buy boxes in here as well. Those are fine. We can see the gross ROI has to be at least 1%. And I'm going to hit apply to these, okay? This should take us from 6 to 14 items. So this is one of the other things about Basic. In Basic, it has to have a match quality of 100 to be able to come through. So a lot of people will say, well, why am I only seeing 6 items when my search manager says that 14 are in there? 99% of the time, that's why. Okay, it's because of that match quality. And if you hit reset filters, it should, let's see here. Yeah, it resets that sort and filter data. Now the number should actually be at 75. Not sure why it was at 100, but typically what I would suggest, okay, is to remove this particular filter, and you have to do it every single time because it's there to try to keep away anything that might be a mismatch. But in my personal opinion, you should look at everything. Okay. Everything that tactical arbitrage throws back at you, you should look at it. Dan, no, don't worry about that. Not ignorance, man. Got to ask questions. Nothing, no such thing as a stupid question. What is a suppressed buy box, and how can we use the info? So that is actually a good question. A suppressed buy box means that there is no buy it now or add to cart button over here in the top right. Typically, on a lot of products, let's open up another product page. Let's look at, let's see here. Here's one. All right, so we're going to open this in a new tab and take a look at this one. This right here has a buy box. So it tells me that it's in stock. It lets me choose a quantity. It's sold by Life Products Ltd. And fulfilled by Amazon. And I can add it to my cart or hit the buy now button. And this is a buy box. A suppressed buy box, excuse me, that was rude. A suppressed buy box means there is no buy it now button or add to cart button. It's just a see all buying options. And then you can click on this and it's going to take you and show you all of the buying options that are available. Okay, we can see that Club Diva Beauty and LAVINC are the two here that are selling this particular product. And then it's up to the consumer to choose one of these. Now, I will tell you that it's not always the lowest price seller. I know this for certain because I was selling something at $32, which was actually my high point on a particular advent calendar earlier this year. And I know that other sellers were at $21, and I had 4 or 5 get sold. So I don't know how they made their way um, to the show all sellers screen and decided to pick mine. Maybe they were looking for good feedback. I don't know, but it does happen rarely. Okay, typically the buyer is going to say, "Well, this one is the cheapest because it's $27.50 plus free shipping," and they're going to buy this one. Okay, and that's all a suppressed buy box is. All right. Okay, so back to the view data. On the view data, it gives you everything that you might want to see, gives you a history chart, and that's it. That's all there is. And then you can come down and you can go through these. You can see that they match. You can see your price, and then you get to see the adjusted price. Everything's in a somewhat pleasant looking manner. Okay. Uh, Looks like there might be a couple winners here. This one's interesting. This one sold a couple of times this Q4. That one is wicked high in price. Anyway, this is what I like to sell. I like to sell health and beauty and makeup products. And so these are things that I would go through and start looking to purchase. Now, let's go back to the product search, and we're going to do an advanced. That way you guys get to see both ways. I did an advanced search on Ulta this evening. Okay. We'll go back here to do advanced. Now, advanced allows you to get a lot more granular. Okay. For newer folks, and even people who like either don't want to pick up what I'm laying down every week or don't want to listen to what Alex has to say. And and things like that. The advanced search is where people seem to get messed up, and the reason that is because they over filter. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Now, what I did in my search for Ulta is I found that Ulta is also having a 20% off sale. So what I did is I went to Ulta. Okay, the layout on the advanced is a little bit different. You know, there's not all the nice pictures and things like that. You get to set your cache. You can choose UPC sites and products only. Please don't do that. You can choose also check UPC products for image matches. You should always have that turned on. And I chose Ulta. Now with Ulta, the 20% off is everywhere. Okay, so I just selected all and I clicked add those to bulk. If there's an easy bulk, I would suggest that you use that. It does make things easier, and you don't have to go in and figure out what categories you should be using and things like that. Excuse me. So we're going to add those. I don't know why they're not added here. Let's refresh this page. What is cache? That's a good question. So cache allows you to use data that's been stored in the tactical arbitrage database. So let's say, for example, today I'm running an Alta scan, and I'm using a 10-day cache. So if someone ran an Alta scan yesterday, then Tactical Arbitrage has all of the data in the database, and it can pull from there to make things faster. Now, if a product is not in the Tactical Arbitrage database, it will go out and it will get the live pricing. Now, I also have a feature turned on in the settings that when a product is like older than 12 hours, hasn't been updated in at least 12 hours, then it will update the data once it gets added to the view data section. Okay. So cache allows things to go a little bit faster is all it is. And typically the longer the cache, so I'm using 10 days. If you have a newer account, you might only get 5 or 7 days, but it allows your scans to go faster. Okay. Let's see here. Hassan, I deleted Easy Bulk by accident. I was trying to refresh the page because it wasn't, didn't seem to be running for me properly. All right. So again, I found out that there's a 20% off sale at Ulta. So we're going to do an Easy Bulk. We're going to add every single category because there didn't seem to be any or many items that were restricted from this particular sale. Okay. We're not going to worry about start page or last page. We've got the Easy Bulk set. I'm going to name this again. We're going to call this Ulta 20% off. And then 12/19/2019 advanced search. And that's all you need to do up here, okay? Then we're going to go into our source price adjustments. Now, this set fixed price per item, you don't really need to worry about. That's more of a UK thing. But I did have a 20% store discount. I'm not going to throw in the cash back. I was able to find some gift cards for up to 9%. However, they were only at $25, and Ulta only allows you to use one gift card at a time. So they were essentially they're essentially unusable. Okay. So I'm not going to use any gift card in here. I'm going to put in my state sales tax. I'm at 7% in my particular area, and that's all I need to do for these source price adjustments. Now, in the remove, what I'm going to suggest is that you remove if the estimated sales is less than 1, okay? And then a lot of other people are going to say, well, I want to remove out of stock products. I don't want to see it if it's out of stock at the source site. I say slow down for a moment, okay? If you take the time to look at the products that are out of stock at the source site, add them to a folder, okay? Add them to an out of stock folder. Have Tactical Arbitrage set up so that it automatically checks those over again you can check it up to 4 times per day, okay? Then you may find some products that other people are not because it was out of stock and they removed out of stock products, okay? There are a lot of products you could find that way. Items that went out of stock or don't fit your ROI or didn't fit your ROI but come back into stock, and then you can buy them. Okay. How do you set TA to check out of stock again? That's in one of the other videos. I can't go into my settings tonight, so I can't show you how to do that tonight. But I have showed that in the settings video, which is in the Tactical Tuesday playlist. If I could open up my settings, I would, but y'all would see my my keys, and I just can't show that. But again, next year we're starting over from scratch. We're going to start out from the beginning and go all the way through again. So that will be one of the Tactical Thursdays next year. All right. A lot of these other filters I wouldn't worry about. Okay. Sometimes I'll see people in here, they'll have like all of these filters filled in. Okay. Just use the remove if estimated sales is less than. All right. Don't worry about the number of sellers. Don't worry about how many competitive FBA sellers there are. Look at that. Look at all that stuff manually. Okay. The one thing that I really want to try to drill into everybody is, yes, doing online arbitrage, doing retail arbitrage, selling on Amazon, it's definitely a good way to make money, especially if you've never had a side hustle and you want to try something out. Or, I mean, you can turn this into a full-fledged business. There's plenty of people doing OA who do hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. But the thing is it is real work. Okay. We can't completely shortcut our success. TA already allows us to shortcut it a big time, but we've still got to be able to put in some work for it. Okay. So don't use a ton of these filters. The one that I'm okay with you doing is remove third-party sellers from results. I don't want to see it from Walmart if it's being sold by Uncle Jim. I just want to see Walmart products because I've ordered from Walmart third-party sellers once or twice, and every single time it was a product that was counterfeit, the Alibaba product. Don't remove oversized products. There are profits in oversized products. Yes, they are a pain to ship. They're a pain to deal with, but there's money there. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, don't worry about these other things. This is really all you should be doing. Don't worry about your source titles. Don't worry about your source titles. In your costs and fees, make sure these are filled out. So we've talked, like I've got a 50% a 50 cent cost to prep, 50 cents to bundle, 50 cents for oversized prep. Those are my personal costs. And then I estimate about 50 cents per pound to ship to Amazon. That's typically an overestimate. Okay. Typically an overestimate. It's typically a little bit cheaper, but I like to overestimate a little bit, and then I can take things like boxes and poly bags into account. Okay. In the profit and ROI, this is the other place that really tends to get people all screwy. They'll put in here $10 in that was 110. They'll put in here $10 for gross profit and 50% ROI. Now, don't get me wrong. These products exist. I just bought one the other day that's like a $52 profit, okay, 100% ROI. And it was found from a regular search, okay, not going in and overdoing the filters, all right? So those home runs are going to be out there. And if you don't mind the baseball metaphor, the game is won with singles and doubles, okay? So and then every now and again we get to knock it out of the park, and that's great. And that's the sexy part, of course. Everyone wants to be in the home run derby. Not everyone is willing to bunt when you need to. So don't be afraid to do that. What about Moneyball? So keep these low. Keep them at $1 and keep them at 10%. Okay. ROI. And then you don't have to buy the items when they are at 10%. You can buy them. You can only buy the ones that are at 20% or 30%. We can always use the on-page filters later on. Okay. Now, in the other filters, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the also show Amazon out of stock results. Then I'm going to also show reverse search results of more sources for both UPC sites and title sites. Now, the reason I'm doing this is even though there is a sale at Ulta, I want it to check Sephora and Beautylish and all these other places that sell beauty products. Okay. And so I'm going to turn those on. That way I can see more. All right. I'm having more at bats, if you will, if I continue with the baseball metaphors. All right. Once that's all set up, those are the only filters I use. All right. Out of like 50 some filters, I use, what's that? 5, 9, 13 filters. Okay. That's it. And the costs and fees, that probably really shouldn't count because that's just my costs and fees in there. Now, after that's all done, I hit search. All right. And I'm not going to do that on this one because I already have a search running. And we're going to go look at the view data here in a moment, but I'm going to answer some questions. All right. Let's see here. Christopher Cruz, what's going on, man? Good to see you too. I was wondering if you could check out those pictures I sent you to give me your opinion on the info conveyed in them. Did you send those via email or messenger? Either way, they got knocked down, but I will make sure to take a look. Or if you could PM me again, just to kind of bring it up to the top of the inbox, I would appreciate it, man. Sami, where's the update in the settings? I'll show that. I'll show that when we get started for the next year. So when the easy bulk pops, should we delete it or keep it? Well, when you're doing a new search, so for example, let's say we started this. I'm going to go ahead and just start this really quick. When you start this search, okay, and we go to start a new search, you're going to have this little pop-up that says, do I keep the easy bulk or do I delete it? Come on. It'll show up here in a second. There it is. So once I'm starting a new search, I'm typically deleting that bulk list out of there. Okay, so I can go and do a new one. Let me turn this off. Let me stop that. All right. Okay, can you drop the Google Forms link? Yep, absolutely. Google Forms. For those of you over on YouTube, we do giveaways every week in case you happen to be new. Make sure to drop your name. Don't need an email or anything. Just drop your name in that Google form, and we'll be doing some giveaways at the end of the show. Let's see here. Yes, Greg says some stores will email you when they're back in stock. So that's something else I do. So let's say Walmart, for example. Walmart is one of these stores where they will email you when a product is back in stock. So if I see that it's out of stock and it's a Walmart product, I will not only put it into a folder, but I will also put my email address in to Walmart. That way I get an email from them as well. Okay. And I can guarantee that people are doing that on Amazon because there are products where I've brought them back to market and they sell immediately. And I know it's because people are getting email updates. All right. Let me go over to some questions on YouTube. What is Easy Bulk and how do we use it? Easy Bulk, I showed you how to use it, but Easy Bulk is just a list of all the categories on a particular site. So when I chose all of them from Alta, I have Tactical Arbitrage scanning every single category, all 240 of them at Alta. And I didn't have to go in and create a bulk list or anything like that. I just got to hit select all and boom, it's off to the races. Let's see here. South End Owls, what's going on, man? Are you able to tell? Oh, let's see. Can we ask questions here about Go Aura, or is it only TA? No, you can ask repricer questions. I don't know all the answers. I'm not as good with Aura as the founders, and I'll have him back on for another show. I think I've had him on twice, but next year I think I'm going to do another show with him so we can talk about kind of new strategies. He's always coming up with something. And I do have some strategies on Aura on video with Dylan from Aura. Is there a Facebook group for Aura? They have a Facebook group. It's not for Aura or Vendrive, their other software. It's for something else, and I cannot remember what their it's wholesale something. I can find it though. Are you able to tell how many people may have ran TA on that store for that day? No, you can't tell how many people have run a particular store. Hey Chris, sometimes I need to find quickly one ASIN after saving it in my own saved folders. Is there a way to find an ASIN in a saved folder without searching it one by one, each saved folder? Not really. Trying to think. No, not really. Now, if you know the ASIN or you know the title of the product, you can go into each folder and check for it, but there's not like a master search of all of them, unfortunately. I sell trash FBA and made $1 million last week. I wish, man. Can you recommend a prep service? I can recommend a few. Prime Zero Prep is incredible. They're in New Hampshire, so they are in a tax-free state. It's owned by a gentleman named Mark, and he's a good friend and an excellent logistics guy. There is Central Montana Prep. They're also very good. Charles Leslie owns a prep service as well of Amazon FBA Rockstars, and he is doing a heck of a job. And Now he's kind of newer. They just got their they just went public. They were in beta and had 10 folks, and now they're going public and accepting more people. He's a good friend of mine as well. How many searches do you keep running every day? So I try to keep like 2 or 3 reverse searches running at all time, and then I'll run like 3 to 4 product searches all the time, or as much as I can. I definitely don't run them every single day because I'm not that deep on capital. But I try to run 3 to 4 product searches and 3 or 4 reverse searches at all times. And yeah, that's what I suggest. Try to keep as many running as you can. And if you keep wide open filters, you're going to have to really use the on page filters after the search, because you're going to have too many there to look at. Let's see here. What size cache do you frequently use? I use 10 days. I just have mine set to 10 days and I just let it go. Do you know how to tell if your repricer is running? Yeah, I know how to tell if my repricer is running. I can check that. I can check all the price changes and things like that. And your products are selling. That's a good one, Christine. Yeah, I can look at my repricer and I can tell which ones are running and what price changes have happened and all of that good stuff. All right, a couple more questions, then we're going to go look at some view data here. Let's see here. Okay. Hi, Chris. For a few products, when I scan it in the seller app, the proceeds are already negative even before I add the purchase price. I mean, the Amazon FBA fee and shipping cost is already above the actual product price, but I see few people selling this product. How is it possible? Well, it is possible that the weight and dimensions are wrong. Okay. Maybe they're that way on purpose. I don't know. If you have some examples, some ASINs, feel free to email them to me at chris@cleartheshelf.com, and I will get back to you. I'll look at them and give you an opinion. We are experiencing potential high pricing error. There are sellers at $12 to $24. I am at 18 and can't get it listed. Any advice? In your Seller Central, do you have your minimum and maximums filled out? Because if you do, if you have a minimum and a maximum price in there, and if you're over your max or below your minimum, it'd be, in your case, it'd be over your maximum, then you could be getting a potential high pricing error. So I would check your mins and maxes. Sorry, can you repeat the cache info? My 4-year-old was talking to me. 10 days allow it to refresh a previous search. What is cache? I think that was the question. So cache, cache means that if I ran a scan yesterday and you run a scan today on the same site, then it's very likely that you're going to gather the data from the tactical arbitrage database that is from my scan. Okay, so you're going to get data that could be up to 10 days old. Now, I have it set up in my settings so that if it's more than 12 hours old, once it gets into the view data, it's refreshed and it's brought up to date. Okay, because we know there's over 1 billion price changes on Amazon every single day. So that's what cache is, but it allows things to go faster, and I like hot, nasty speed. So I always use as much cache as I can. A couple of weeks ago, you said that you will send us your filter settings. Would you send it to me? Shoot me an email at chris@cleartheshelf.com, and I'll put together a screenshot document of the way that I have my filter. You want my filters or my actual? Or yeah, your filters. So I'll send some screenshots of what I would recommend as filters. But send me an email, chris@cleartheshelf.com, and just give me a gentle reminder. Do you have a place that show what columns you're keeping active? Yes, Gary, I could go over that. I can go over that. Let's see here. Christine, in the settings, how do I have it update every 12 hours? Unfortunately, I cannot show you tonight because if I open up my settings, everyone gets to see my seller ID, and then, well, I'd have to go and get a new one, and I don't want to do that. So, but next year I will show everybody. I will do like settings right off the bat. It is pretty easy to find in the settings, and you're not going to break anything in there, so I go digging around. But I will also do a whole show on the settings. It's actually one of our good ones. Yes, they're both filled out with a 6 times differential. I'm not sure what might be happening. I might talk to seller support and see why that's happening. You might have to call it back and send it back in. I'm just not sure why that's happening to you. Let's see. Gary, thank you. The group for Dylan of GoAura and Vendrive is Amazon FBA Wholesale. Amazon FBA Wholesale, and they have Vendrive like right at the top. Which search do you prefer the most, reverse or advanced or basic? Well, so you can do advanced and basic in both reverse and product. So I prefer the advanced. I want to be able to control my filters a little bit more. Out of reverse and product search, I love reverse because it's easy. That's it. That's all I got to do. I throw in ASINs and bam, it's off to the races. I like product search because I get to go hunting for deals. Okay. I get to go out and say, okay, here are like these 2 sales that I'm showing, or these 2 scans I'm showing you guys. They are sales that are happening right now. Like they're live sales. Okay. So I can go in and find products that are 20% off right now and then try to sell them on Amazon. Okay. And this is one of the best ways to build your ROI. You stack a 20% off coupon or a 20% off code and then do it on a site that has discount gift cards. For example, like Target, everyone says, well, Target's not profitable. Everybody goes there. Well, I'll bet you money that I could make a profit there because I follow the sales pattern. Okay. I know when their coffee is going to be on sale again. It just went on sale like 2 weeks ago. Coffee will be on sale again in a couple more weeks. Okay. During Q4, they've always got toy sales. They just finished up a Lego sale. In a video I did, I think either last week or earlier in the week, they had 30% off bedding sales. And I showed one product like instantly that made like $30 profit. And I didn't even include the 7.5% discount gift card. I didn't include the 1% you can get back with Circle. Okay. So there's a bunch of ways to really lower your costs, even with places like Target. Okay. And a lot of people just aren't willing to do those couple of extra steps, and they're not able to find the profit that another people can. Let's see. Sorry, we've got lots of questions coming in. I've noticed that when I look at the sellers on listings, that they may show at the bottom of the page at times, and other times they show on the right side of the page. Do you know what causes this? Yeah, so you're talking about a suppressed buy box. And sometimes when you hit that button on the right-hand side, you'll see them pop up, or sometimes it'll take you to a whole new page and they show up at the bottom of the page. It seems that Amazon is A/B testing what works better. So I would imagine that they realize that their sales velocity is tanking when they suppress buy boxes. So they're probably trying to figure out a way to be able to kind of flip that a little bit. Okay. And so they're obviously still, because I see it both ways too. So once they figure out which one sells better, then they'll probably stick with that. Let's see. Hassan, do you know any good way to get ungated in beauty? Yes. Contact contact a beauty supplier. There's several of them. Frontier Co-op, and heck, you could probably even find some things at Dollar Days. It's very possible that you might need a CPC. So figure out what Amazon wants and then get that for them. Was this video on YouTube? I'm not sure what video you mean. I got an IP claim a few weeks ago. I appealed and got my listing reinstated. Then, when they relisted, I got another claim. But this time, when I appealed, Amazon did not accept the invoice as proof of purchase. I do not know what to do next. Continue to fight that. Okay, just because they didn't accept it once doesn't mean they won't accept it on the next time around. Because you got to realize that, it's people making $4 or $5 an hour running through these things, and they've got schedules to keep, and they've got number of calls per minute to answer and things like that. Gabe, what is Circle? Circle is a program with Target where you can get 1% back on your purchases to use for future purchases, and they also have like special sales for Circle members. It took over like the Red program or whatever it was before. A CPC is consumer product something or other, like a safety sheet for a consumer product. I'm gonna have to Google it. What is a CPC? I always forget what CPC stands for. Thank you. Consumer Product Certificate. I knew it should have been something easy. So many, what are they called? So many abbreviations for us to remember. Perfect. Will says you need a COA, a certificate of analysis for beauty. Those are harder to get. Acronyms. Thank you. Acronyms. My brain is, I think I'm on vacation. Yeah, so you need a certificate of analysis. Those are harder to get. Could you go step by step on how you go about sending your inventory to a prep center? I'd love to, but every prep center has a different way of doing things. So the retail arbitrage prep center I was using, they would just accept my buy list from Scoutify. I'd email it to him and he'd handle the rest. The prep center I was using for OA, they had a Google sheet, and I had to fill out this Google sheet, and they didn't work inside of an inventory lab at all. So I'd fill out the Google sheet, and then they would go into Seller Central, and they would create shipping. So it just depends. I know Charles Leslie, he will use Inventory Lab or Seller Central. It just depends on what you want to do. So unfortunately, there's not really a way for me to show you step by step how to send it to a prep center, since they all have their own way of doing things. All right, let's go over the view data in an advanced search, or the advanced view data section, and then I'm sure some more questions will come along. So in the advanced, you get all of the data that you're used to seeing in the basic, but you get more. Okay, so we've got the history chart right here, so we get to see the history chart. Now I don't have all of my columns turned on. Okay, so in my columns I have the history chart, this estimated monthly sales, and a bunch of these other ones. Okay, I've got a few of them turned off. All right, so I keep my history chart over here up to the left. You get your estimated number of sales across. This one must have variations because it says across all variations. We can see whether or not it's in stock, the source, the price. Then I've got my discounts and taxes in here. I've got my adjusted price, so we can see that my discount's 20%, total and negative 14.42. We can see my adjusted price here. And then the way I do it is I have my images right next to each other, so I can see that these don't match. This is just one small milk and honey bar or something, and this is a whole little little set. I've got the title from the source site, the Amazon title, the brand, the category, and the ASIN. And then we keep going over. I've got my sales rank, my average sales rank, my gross ROI, my gross profit. You'll see that right now I have this set so that it's sorted by gross ROI. Okay. Now, the reason I do this is typically I'm using the on-page folder to remove or hide any items with crazy ROIs. Okay, like something at 2,200%, I'm not going to look at until I go through everything that's like 30 to 100% ROI. Okay. And that's kind of the way that I do things. You can see my product size, I can see the last update, etc. Now, you also can check restrictions. You can report this if it shows that yes, it's in stock, but it's not actually in stock. You can report this so that it can be checked. What else do I look at here? You've got your link to Tactical Edge if you want to. You can see how many FBA and merchant fulfilled sellers there are, whether it's suppressed, if it's a virtual FBA buy box, and just everything. All the data is here to be able to make a pretty good decision. Okay. So when you are here and looking at this, typically I am making this a little bit smaller so I can see some more of the data all in one. The other thing is I typically have this out across my widescreen monitor. So the way I have it set up, I can see everything without scrolling back and forth. But essentially from here, I would do a little bit of on-page filtering. Okay. So I'm going to do ROI and I'm going to show right now, I'm going to do 30% to 100%. I'm going to get rid of all these things with crazy ROIs. Okay. And then I've got the gross ROI from highest to lowest. Okay. And then I just start going through and looking at history charts. So this particular item, I can see that the bags are different colors. Okay. This is coconut coffee scrub. This one's cacao coffee or cocoa. I don't know what that is. I'm going to call it cacao. But this next one, this history chart doesn't look so bad. It's definitely got some velocity to it. It looks like they are matches. So as long as the sizes are right, nope, this one's a 3-pack and this one's a single. So I need to update those. Okay. This next one does not show enough data on the history chart. So I'd actually go and take a look at this one to see if there's some more data I could find on it to see if it's selling 3 a month, if that's right, or if it's selling more. But that's all I do. I go through, I look at these history charts. I can see Amazon's been on this one. So I'm going to have to go in and figure out whether or not Amazon shares the buy box. I can see that I can, the price has been nice and steady. So if they're sharing the buy box of these particular prices, this could be a winner. Probably not something I'm going to go 100 deep on, but it's something that I might go a few in on, especially if I can find out that they're selling, okay, or they're sharing the buy box. Jennifer, that is really nice of you. Jennifer says, for topical ungating, try lotuslight.com. That's awesome. Let's see. Will you be doing a show next week, or are you taking off the rest of the year? Can't wait for 2020. Thaderma 1769, I appreciate that. I am going to be taking off next week, which is the 26th, and I'm going to be taking off January 2nd, and we're going to be back on January the 9th. January the 9th. Do you know if there is a way to search for Amazon listings that have coupons on the Amazon page listing? Possibly. I will need to. I'll need to check on that if I can. I have an idea of a way to be able to do that. So Gabe, email me at chris@cleartheshelf.com. Email me this question, and then if you'd also give me the reason you're looking for that, and then let me mull that over a little bit. View list process is very interesting. What do I do with the list afterwards? Do I save it for how long? The items that I purchase go into a purchased folder because they very well may be something I want to replenish, or maybe other people have found it and maybe I need to wait it out for a couple of months. But I want to be able to see that data again down the road. But if it's something that I don't think I'm going to buy right now, I'm not saving the list. I'm deleting it. I'm moving on, because the thing is I can always come back and I can do another scan later on. Maybe Alta has a sale. Maybe Alta has a sale a little bit later on for 30% or 25% off. And I come back and maybe something's profitable that wasn't before. So Driss, you asked this question in the Zoom. You appealed and got your listing reinstated, and then you appealed again and they didn't accept the invoice. You need to just keep at it. You need to keep at it is what you need to do. Can you please spell the website to get ungated in Topical? Yeah, it's Lotus Light. Oops, I didn't spell that right. Light.com. Lotuslight.com. And let me share that on YouTube as well. Jennifer shared this, so big shout out to Jennifer for that was Topical ungating. Let's see. I have in my settings to remove Amazon if seller now, but I still get results with Amazon selling. How do I eliminate that? Okay, so on your view data page here, what you can do is you can go over, let me scroll over a little bit here, and you see this buy box column. Well, in this filter, you're going to be able to see that there is no data, AMZ, FBA, and VFBA. If you deselect AMZ and hit apply, then it should remove all the listings where Amazon is currently in stock. How do you check and filter how much Amazon has been selling on a listing? Oh, no problem, Mike. You actually cannot do that anymore. So Tactical Arbitrage used to be able to say, I only want to see items where Amazon has been on a listing 50% or less. Amazon made some draconian changes, and Tactical Arbitrage had to remove that filter. It's not something that they wanted to do, that Alex wanted to do, but it was necessary to make sure that he was allowed to keep his developer license. Gary says, off topic a little, is there an easy way to put your cost and all info you do when you do your prep on Inventory Lab, when your prep center is using Seller Central to send your stuff in? I've been doing line by line on FBA inventory. Gary, I'm going to have to look into that. Shoot me an email or a message or something with that question so I can look into it, because I'm not sure if there's a way to bulk upload or not. I'm not an Inventory Lab power user. I use it, but I don't care to learn everything about it. So I haven't. How do you know if Amazon is sharing the buy box? That is a great question. Let's go down to this particular listing here. Amazon is on this listing. All right. And we can see that this ships from and sold by Amazon.com. Okay. Now, what we're going to be able to do is you're going to need to have a paid Keepa subscription. I am going to drop an affiliate link, and if you buy a Keepa subscription, Keepa is going to send me like $5. Okay. I have a current credit of $3.50. If you don't have a Keepa subscription, I would suggest you get one. It costs you about $17 US per month, and it should make that money back very, very quickly. Okay. I didn't even realize I had $3.30 in there. I have made about $100 in total from them. Big money. So, and they send you Amazon gift cards which is actually kind of like. So what you can do is when you have a paid Keepa subscription, what you're going to see is you're going to see all these little pink dots for the buy box. Okay, we'll kind of we'll zoom in on these here. You're going to see all these little pink dots. Okay, let me remove the new so we can see that a little clearer, and I'll leave Amazon there. Now, what we can see here is if we go through here, whenever Keepa checks this, it figures out who has the buy box. So here, Amazon, 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 Amazon. All right, so you just have to scroll through and check these. On this particular listing, I'm going to bet that Amazon doesn't share the buy box. Okay, I can sell this product. However, we go down here, Amazon dropped the price and they raise their price back up. Yeah, doesn't look like Amazon's sharing the buy box on this particular item. Now, the other thing that I see here, I can see this had 18, so there's some seller movement. It's very possible that other sellers are selling through, or maybe they were merchant fulfilled and they were removing their items or whatever. But the thing about this that kind of makes me wonder is it went from 18 down to 11. So I'm curious, did Conair start sending out some IP complaints and get people off the listing? Or is Amazon actually sharing the buy box? And just because this isn't being updated, okay, super frequently, so we can see a buy box here on December 13th, and then you see no buy box data because Keepa didn't go and scrape the information, and you don't see a buy box point here until the 18th. Okay, so the other thing about this is it's not a science, it's a bit of an art. Okay, you have to take some guesses and things like that in a lot of these things. Okay, let's see here. The drops tab on the statistics section of the Keepa graph extension on each ASIN on Amazon. Does that mean the number of sales per month? It does not. The number of drops does not equal the number of sales. It equals the number of times that the sales rank has dropped. However, sales rank is a snapshot in time. Okay, sales rank is updated more frequently than, say, buy box data. Okay, however, for example, on these particular couple of days, we get the sales rank here at noon. All right, and it looks like they got it again here, and they got it again. So we got it at 11:52, noon, 12:14. They got it again at 12:36, and they got it again here at 7:56. Okay, so we don't get every single change in sales rank. Sales rank changes every single hour. They don't always update it every single hour. Okay, you can see that right here. It's not updated every single hour. Matter of fact, from 11 o'clock last night up until 8 o'clock this morning, it wasn't updated. I can guarantee there were changes in that sales rank between 11 o'clock last night and 8 o'clock this morning. Okay, so the thing about those drops is it's the number of times a drop has been recorded, but it does not necessarily equate to a sale. Now, the other thing about Keepa that you have to understand is that items can sell while the sales rank is actually going up. Okay, now a lot of people they either don't know this or they don't know how to explain it. So here's the thing. Let's say that I have a product that is ranked 500 in toys. We know that as of right now, a toy ranked 500 is on fire. It's probably selling, maybe 100 units a day, whatever. However, let's say that over the next 2 days, the sales rank doubles and it now goes to 1,000. Well, we know that 1,000 is still incredible in toys, especially in Q4. However, the sales rank went up. It doesn't mean that it stopped selling so that the sales rank goes up. It just means that it's selling slower in comparison to the other items in its category. Okay. So what may have happened is this toy ranked at 500, maybe the price went up and now the sales velocity slowed down a little bit, but these other prices on some other 500 products have come down, or they went viral on Ryan's World or whatever, okay, and they started selling crazy fast, so their sales rank is coming down, and this one particular item is selling a little bit slower, okay, and it's going up in rank. Heck, a sales rank can go up while a product is selling exactly the same as it was before. The reason that is that sales rank is not only a snapshot in time, but it's also a snapshot of that particular product over the course of a period of time. So let's say that a product's ranked 500 right now and the sales velocity stays the same, but these other 500 products or 501 or 600 products start selling faster, okay? But product A stays at 500 units a month, and it goes from rank 500 to 750. Well, it's still selling crazy, but the rank is going up. Okay, so there's no way for us to 100% for sure say, hey, this product is selling X amount per month, and you should buy 100 units. All we can do is we can make an educated guess as to how well the product sells, and then we can figure out by taking some calculated risks on product how many we should buy. So let's say that Amazon was not on this particular product, okay, and I can see that the buy box price is really steady. On something like this, maybe I go 50 deep, okay, because it's not going to kill me if I'm absolutely wrong. And then I realize, well, this product is selling, absolutely crazy, and I need to replenish this, but next time I need to buy 100. Okay. So we have to take some calculated risks. We hedge our bets by going wide, not deep, and then we start going deep as we get some actual data of our own. Okay. Hopefully that wasn't too over the top for you guys. Chris, with your level, do you still have a bad buy? Absolutely. Everyone makes bad buys. Or I take a guess on something. I'm like, you know what? I got a feeling about this, and that feeling was wrong. Or a price tanks. I had a killer product. Okay, I sent in like 150 of them, and then the price tanked. It happens. Price ended up coming back, and I ended up selling through the ones that Amazon didn't lose. So you kind of figure out the product cycle. This is something I've sold for the past couple of years. So, but the best thing you do is like we just talked about. You take as much data as you can, and then you're taking a calculated risk. Okay. So like if you're a new seller and you say, you know what, I've got $1,000, I've got $1,000. I would never risk more than 5 to 10% of your capital on one particular product. And then as long as we're hitting 60, 70, 80% of them on the mark where we're making a profit, those other 20 or 30% are just going to be learning experiences. And we know in the future that, okay, if maybe there are these telltale signs, and I'm going to make sure not to buy things like those in the future. Does Amazon share and then suddenly stop sharing? Yeah, Amazon does all kinds of janky things. They might share a buy box and then stop sharing a buy box. Heck, so on this particular thing here, okay, this is a great product here. So this on December the 12th, this particular item had 18 sellers, and then we see Amazon dropped the price on it. Okay, and then what we see over here is late on the 15th into the 16th, we see the number of sellers starting to go down. And we don't see another buy box from Amazon until here. After the number of sellers, bam, way dropped. It's very possible that Amazon became back ordered. It's very possible that maybe Amazon was sold out for a while. There's all kinds of things that may have happened where maybe Amazon shared the buy box and then they didn't again, because Keepa is not grabbing this data in real time 24/7 every single minute or second or even every single hour. Okay. Keepa grabs data a lot. Okay. But they don't grab it. It's not like a constant feed. Keepa doesn't. Yes, Keepa probably does have some API pull with Amazon, I'm sure, but a lot of their stuff is scraping. Let's see here. What is an IP complaint and how can you get it? How to avoid it? Well, you can get ipalert.com to try and protect yourself. Sorry, that is an extension that myself and Nate McAllister built, where we have we try to have a database and warn you about as many IP bullies as possible. But an IP complaint is basically someone saying, hey, you are treading on our brand name, and they make a complaint with Amazon. There is no 100% way to avoid it at all costs. It does not happen. They're going to happen to you. I got a cease and desist letter not too long ago. I haven't got any IP complaints in the past year or so, knock on wood. But I have gotten cease and desist letters, actually twice of them in the past 2 months. But there's no way to protect yourself. You do need to make sure that you have, you need to make sure that you have all of your receipts, your invoices. That way you can show Amazon that it was a product that you bought properly. Okay. How long do you hold on to an item if it's not selling? So at 30 days, I reevaluate the product. If the product hasn't sold in 30 days, there's probably something wrong, and I'm going to reevaluate that product. At 90 days, I am liquidating the product. I'm selling at a break even or even a loss to get some of my capital back, because stagnant capital, to me, is worse than losing some of your capital. I'd rather get 90 cents on the dollar back so I can take that 90 cents and then flip it again. How much of your OA inventory is constantly profitable? I mean, can you still buy them for the same profit? I don't know. I'd say, I mean, not for the same profit. I mean, prices on Amazon, they literally change over 1 billion times a day. Okay. People lower the price, people raise the price, all kinds of stuff. All right. I would say that 40 to 50% of my inventory is something I can buy at least one more time. In 2020, I'm hoping that to be more like 60 to 70%, because there are always going to be things that become unprofitable. It's always, for one reason or another. Okay. Maybe the price of the supplier goes up. Maybe the price on Amazon comes down. But then I'll look at that later on, because there are things that I bought 6 months ago that became unprofitable when I went to replenish them, and then they come back and they're profitable again. Are Walmart receipts good to use with Amazon? Yes. Anyone who tells you different is either wrong, on purpose, or uninformed. Receipts do work for IP claims. They work for counterfeit claims. They work for used, sold as new claims. Receipts will work if they are properly annotated. Now, not a Goodwill receipt, okay? And you're going to have a little bit of trouble with like a Marshall's or a TJ Maxx receipt unless you document things properly. But a Walmart, a Target, a Kohl's, a Publix, an HEB, 90% of stores out there, you're going to be just fine. Hassan, shouldn't we go with how much the statistic can keep us as the product sells? No. Yeah, Will. Will says he made a bad buy on Halloween on cereal. On my recommendation, just had to donate it and write it off. Yeah, Halloween, those kind of things, they happen. And I ended up selling through all of mine, and that kind of stuff is hard hard to gauge how much you should buy on Halloween and short-lived products with short life cycles. How often is IP alert data updated? As often as I possibly can, probably about once a week. It is so I have to have proof before a brand is added to IP alert. It can't just be some Joe Schmo saying, "Hey, add this to IP alert." I need to verify it with actual proof from someone's account. Then I go and look for brands in multiple places. I've even reached out to a couple of law firms and trying to work with them. So we update it as much as possible, but typically about once a week, we're adding at least a few brands. We're closing in on 500 so far that we can verify. If my Walmart keys are still working, can I do a search on TA to find items that are only found using the keys and exclude items that would be found doing a normal search? Or is that just impossible? That's impossible. Maybe I can do a category search without keys first, add all the items to a folder, then do a search on the same category, but using the keys, and somehow delete the ones that are repeated from the folder I have. Yeah, you could try that. Linda, shoot me an email at chris@cleartheshelf.com and let me try to do, I got an idea of how that may work. So shoot me an email with that question so I can work on it. Okay. Invoice is the same as printing the confirmation page right after you make a purchase. You can, but you should be emailed a receipt as well. That should work. Using your extension. A company has several products that pop with the IP alert, but others that do not. Would you purchase those if the extension doesn't pop, or leave it alone knowing that the company has a history? If you want to message me the company, I'll give you my opinion. Let's see. What do you do with leftover Christmas related stuff after Christmas? It depends. I will be honest, after Christmas, there are certain items that will go on clearance that I will go out and I will buy more of. Then there are other items where I may just drop the price if it's because I don't hold on to things until the next season. How do we document receipts from TJ Maxx and Ross? So on your TJ Maxx receipt, you're going to have a little code, and it should match the little barcode on TJ Maxx. I take a picture of the receipt from TJ Maxx along with the item, especially shoes and clothing. Okay. Take a picture of that receipt with the items together. That way I can show that I bought the item from TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, etc. Maybe you can show us with an example of how to do this. Let's say I found an item that is profitable on sources A and B. I buy from source A, but at some point it goes out of stock on that source. Is there any way within TA to remember that I found the same item at a profit on source B? I would just run a scan over again or save that particular item. So like what I will do, like if you took that ASIN and did a reverse search, it should pull that item up for you that's profitable at source B. That's what I would do as a reverse search. Where can we find already made SOPs for this business model? Next year, we may have something that helps you with that. It's not ready yet. Let's see. I have tried many times to submit to get Will. Perfect share. Will shared a link to my buddy Nate's blog about how to properly validate your suppliers to Amazon for receipt annotations. He shared that with everybody. I'm going to share that over to you folks on the YouTubes as well. Nate is an excellent blogger, and he's done tons of account suspensions. So he has a little bit of knowledge there, and that is a great piece. Okay. Will this tie to Inventory Lab? Tactical Arbitrage does not integrate with Inventory Lab automatically, but you could take like a buy list from Tactical Arbitrage, a buy list, a list of items that you've purchased, and you could upload those into Inventory Lab as long as the columns in your CSV file were correct. Why are you allowed to sell some things, but others will get an IP claim or are gated? It's not that I won't get an IP claim. I just haven't gotten one. Okay. How so? Like, let's. I'm trying to think of the brand that somebody just talked about. Wasn't Patagonia? Maybe it was. Anyway, there's a brand that sent someone IP claims. Okay, if I sold that brand, I would probably get hit with one too. Depends how aggressive the brand protection agency is or anything like that. So, Chris, you want to share your strategy for 2020? I will be sharing my strategy for 2020 once I have it all hammered out. I don't have it hammered out yet. Let's see. I've tried many times to submit to get ungated in toys, yet have continually gotten responses back. That day, I have not submitted the proper invoice information. Purchased with Entertainment Earth for a toy, and I've made the purchase, yet still get the same messages back. I cannot get ungated and don't know the avenue to go forward with now. I have properly annotated to no avail. I would have to see what they're emailing you back with, but I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes with Amazon, it is about persistence. I remember back in the day when I was getting ungated and several other people were as well. There was one person who had to send in the exact same paperwork 36 times. They had everything right. Everything was 100% correct. And they had to submit it 36 times before Amazon finally relented. Okay. So sometimes you just have to be more stubborn than Amazon, especially if you know that you've done everything right. Let's see here. What is the difference between Amazon automated pricing and others, especially Aura? Is it worth buying it even at the beginning? So, I personally will not use the Amazon automated pricing. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but there are rumors that if you're in a pricing battle with someone else, that they will just drop you to your minimum price because they know that person B, their minimum price is $10 and your minimum price is $9.99, and you guys both have it set to be 1 penny below the other seller. Okay, so they're like, well, person B, their minimum is 10, and person A, their minimum is $9.99, but they're going to battle each other for a penny. Well, screw that. We're just going to go to $9.99 and 10. Okay, so that's a rumor from what I understand. I know some people who are absolutely in love with the automated pricing. I'm just not gonna. I don't know. I'm not gonna let Amazon do that. I like Aura because there's rules and things like that. There are some things that so they're a young company. I think that they're going to be the gold standard eventually. There are some things that they need to work on. Okay, just about any repricing company has some things they need to work on. But at the price point they're at, I think they'll eventually be the gold standard. And I think that the guys who are in charge of the company are really good guys. Okay. However, I would not buy a repricer until you cannot handle repricing on your own. Okay. Repricing a couple of times a day manually or while you're, in the bathroom or whatever on your phone, repricing manually is fine. Okay. Especially if you only have 5 or 10 items. All right. Once it starts to become a process where you are spending an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours repricing every single day, then you need to think about outsourcing that to automation. Okay. What category would you suggest to do ungating, topical or Lego? If you can't do both, me personally, it would be topical because I like to sell that particular kind of product. However, if you know that you could find more profitable Legos, then I would do Lego. So it really depends on you. What could happen to you? What could happen to you if you get an IP claim? I mean, worst case scenario, you could have your account suspended. But so here's the thing, like a lot of people lose sleep over IP claims and getting suspended and things like that. And we need to be a little bit more stoic as Amazon sellers and realize we're playing in someone else's sandbox. Shit's going to happen, and we just need to be able to deal with it when it does. Okay? Fight your IP claims, get them retracted. If you get suspended, take care of it. Okay? It sucks, but it is life as an Amazon seller. Any issues with Keels? Here's the thing about Keels. Excuse me 1 second. Keels does not want their product sold on Amazon. I have sold a lot of it. Okay. I actually went to like a Macy's or something. It wasn't a Macy's, Saks. I went to Saks and I bought like $400 worth of Keels. And she's like, what the heck, man? And I was like, honestly, I resell it. And she doesn't care. But what Keels has done is they like had all of their items taken off of Amazon. I never got an IP complaint. Okay. But you'll notice that a lot of their stuff now is listed in the wrong category. I'll see a lot of it in industrial and scientific, or the everything else category, or the single detail category. Okay. So people are going back in and they're listing it incorrectly, trying to get it back on Amazon. But I know that Keels has tried to shut it down. Okay. So like I stopped selling it because I'm not gonna try to piss off the bull, if you will. All right. I'm just gonna stay away from it. However, I don't think that they've ever sent out IP complaints. I think that they're trying to keep the brand off Amazon. Topicals on gate. Will says topicals on gating took me 4 tries of sending the same stuff in. Someone else first time and in 12 hours. Yeah, totally depends. It's a pain. I'll totally say that. Trying to get ungated in DVDs with a Walmart receipt now. You think it's likely to work with some persistence? No. No. Receipts don't work 99.9% of the time for ungating. You've got to have invoices. Okay. There are DVD wholesalers out there. You should be able to find one fairly easy. Not going to do it with used stuff. You're going to have to buy new stuff. But a Walmart receipt is typically not going to work for you. How did you get ungated on top of it? He offered them what they asked for. Okay, so gave them an invoice, and I believe you need a COA with topicals. So you got to get a COA. You can typically talk to a distributor or a wholesaler or a brand about the COA. They can be a little hard to get. Do I have a good source to get ungated and topical? I've not found a way. You can try. It was lotuslight.com. I shared that, or not I, but Jennifer shared that. Lotuslight.com, she said. All right. With an IP complaint, do you ever submit the identical appeal again? Running out of ways to reword it. So typically I'm changing a few things to reword it. Like it's hard to reword everything. But I'm at least trying to like add something or remove something or maybe bring something back from an old one, because it's very possible that it's going to be a different person that sees it on when you resend it in. Like Ivor, I know it's a pain, man. I know it's a pain. I'm sorry. But yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Gabe says, I used Alliance to try to get ungated in popular music and DVD and was denied. I'm not familiar with Alliance, so I don't know if they are like if they're a liquidator or what they are. But yeah, I honestly, if you know that you have everything 100% right, keep trying. That's kind of one of the things about ungating. You just kind of have to keep trying, to be completely honest. What is the difference between top confidence match and other matches? The description and settings does not really mention what the difference is. So, top confidence match is kind of like the best match. Okay, that's going to show you. That's going to show you first what tactical arbitrage is 100% or 75% sure about. The other matches are going to be like when tactical arbitrage goes and looks at a picture or they compare a title. Okay, the looser that you leave those, the more mismatches you may see because tactical arbitrage is going to let more through the algorithm. All right, it's kind of a hard algorithm to explain, so we may talk to Alex about that one specifically, so he can kind of explain that. All right. Before we get to the giveaways, we do have a couple more questions. For those of you over on the YouTubes, I want to drop the link to the giveaway again, just to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to get in there. So I'm going to drop this here for you guys. You can drop your name in there for the stuff we're about to give away. Drop it for you guys as well. And we'll do that here in 1 second. If you are on YouTube, please make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. I am so close to 4,500 subscribers. And my last 500 have come a lot faster than any 500 before that, which has been awesome. Let's see here. What is Tactical Edge? Tactical Edge is something that kind of dives deep into a particular product. Okay, so it gives you details on the other sellers on a listing. It has a picture, of course, has a history graph, lets you see some other data kind of in a different way. You see frequently bought together. All right. See, there are two things that are frequently bought together. So, just a hint, you could take these things and say, okay, these Hollywood fashion secret fashion tape are frequently bought together with this fearless tape and these silicone nipple cover-ups. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fashion tape and I'm going to take some silicone nipple cover-ups and I'm going to put them together as a bundle. All right. And because they're frequently bought together, you might do well with that. All right. But then it also gives you some information on the other sellers. So what I can see here is this Dia Mall. They're 96% positive. They're using FBA. I can see they've got 26,000 total ratings. So I may go in here and I may storefront stalk these people. All right. Gives me the opportunity to go in and stalk someone who's obviously doing a good job. They've got over 1,000 products. They're similar to some things that I like to sell. All right, a lot of health and beauty products. So this would be something I'd start looking to see. Hey, I wonder if this is someone I could stalk and maybe model their store a little bit. Okay. And that's kind of what Tactical Edge is all about. All right. All right. Let me close these things up. And let's get down to some giveaways. Need to pull up the wheel of names. All right, hopefully everyone is in. Sasha bought an item from Kohl's. Getting an IP claim from a company other than the company that manufactures seems odd. It could be a brand management agency like Voorhees, IP Shark, There's a bunch of other ones. Heck, could be another seller who happens to be the brand manager for someone, and or it could just be a BS. But yes, you should just proceed as normal with your IP claim. Try to get it removed. All right, guys, I'm going to call it on the responses. We got 94 in there. 94. All right. I'm going to grab these and we're going to throw them into the wheel of names. I'll tell you what I'm going to do this week, guys. Hey, Scott, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you guys, too. I appreciate that. We're going to shuffle these names around a couple of times so no one can say this is rigged. All right, there we go. So the first thing we're going to give away tonight, and for those of you who won last week, I am a little late in getting things out, but I'm going to spend some time tomorrow to make sure that everyone is caught up on their free stuff. Tonight, let's give away 2 t-shirts first. So the first winner of a Tactical Arbitrage t-shirt, like this one that this model is wearing here, is going to be Mario G. Mario G. So you need to shoot me an email at chris@cleartheshelf.com. I need your address, the color, and the size that you would like for a shirt. Okay? Mario G. Hopefully you're here and listening. The next winner for a Tactical Arbitrage shirt is Matthew L. Matthew L. If you want to shoot me an email at chris@cleartheshelf.com, again, I need your address, I need your size, and the color of shirt that you would like, and I will get that out for you as well. Next up, we've got three winners for ilovesupplies.com. They're a great sponsor of the show every single week. They send out 100 poly bags to the winners, and these are probably the best poly bags on the market. They don't stick to your hands. The strips, they're fantastic and they're strong. So ilovesupplies.com. 3 people will get 100 free bags. And of course, hopefully become a customer of Jonathan. He is a good dude as well. So the winner for the poly bags this week, number 1, is Driss. Driss A. Shoot me an email. I'm going to need your address as well so I can send that over to Jonathan and he can ship those out to you. The second winner of the poly bags from ilovesupplies.com is Clint P. Clint P. Shoot me an email, man. I'll get you taken care of. And the final winner of Polybags this week is Scott J. Scott J, shoot me an email and I'll get you some Polybags as well. Next up, we're going to give away 2 copies of IP Alert. The first winner of IP Alert is... excuse me. Sabrina R. Sabrina R, shoot me an email and I will get you over the instructions for getting a copy of IP Alert. And the second winner, excuse me, hopefully I can get rid of this for next year. The second winner of IP Alert is Otis H. Otis H, shoot me an email and I will get you a copy of IP Alert as well. All right, and the final thing for this evening is going to be, we got one more Q&A. The final winner is going to be for a membership to Tactical Arbitrage Academy for life, forever. And the winner for the TA Academy is... Frank the Tank S. So Frank the Tank. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that movie, but Frank the Tank, go ahead and shoot me an email. I will get you the information for Tactical Arbitrage Academy. So, everybody who's here, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, uh, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. I hope you have an incredible one with your family and your friends. I will see you guys on January 9th. We'll be back fresh. Hopefully, going to have Alex on the show very soon after the new year, and we're going to be doing this every single week again. Seriously, guys, I appreciate you all for hanging out and being here with me every single week. It means more than you know, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the new year. I will talk to you guys soon.